isn't that a great word? Vociferously and happily the Hoboken Public Library for allowing us to have these Art with Liz classes, both in person in the beautiful renovated downstairs area of the Hoboken Public Library, and also through Zoom for those of you who are working from the privacy of your home space. Today, we are continuing our celebration of Asian, Pacific Islander, and Hawaiian American artists. It is Asian, Pacific, and Hawaiian Islander American History Month. And I am thrilled to present to you today the Japanese American artist Ruth Asawa. Ruth was born in Norwalk, California, January 24th, 1926. We are going to begin by looking at a slideshow of her, I think, extraordinary work. Then I'm going to do a short, very short slide presentation about the element of line, because line plays such an essential role in her work, and it's also going to play a very important role in our work today. Then I'm going to do a short demonstration of two projects that you can do today. One is three-dimensional sculptural, and the other is two-dimensional drawing. Ruth was a proponent of both three-dimensional and two-dimensional work, and you're going to see in the slideshow today that she did extraordinary work in both three-dimensional form and flat two-dimensional drawings. And here we go. I'm going to share the screen so that we can see her, I think, incredibly beautiful work. And welcome to all of you at home. If someone at home could give me a thumbs up to let me know you can see the slideshow. Thank you, Robin. And let's begin. So Ruth was and if I could ask folks at home to please mute. Oh, it's someone here. Please turn off your phones, everyone. Thank you. I actually side comment. You know how I like to make side comments, but as I was walking through the park this morning, I was observing every single mother in the park was on her cell phone, completely ignoring their toddler. And I was just, it suddenly struck me, what will the next generation of children be like? Exactly. It's an interesting thought. Anyway, let's not get off track. So Ruth is what we call an American modernist. And she was most famous for her sculpture. She made these amazing looped wire, for the most part, hanging sculpture. And we're going to look at some of those, as well as I mentioned before, her drawings. She did abstract, figurative, and also drawings based on nature, particularly flowers and plants that she found in her immediate surroundings. As I mentioned before, also, she was born in California in 1926. She was the fourth of 7 children. Her parents were Japanese immigrants, and they had a truck farm in California. Everybody can hear me, correct? In 19... Folks, please remember to mute. Okay, thank you. In Yeah, something's not quite right, Laura. I think we
Keep
have
going, keep going. We'll work through it. Keep going.
okay. So sorry, we have a little bit of feedback this morning. But in 1942, her family was separated because of World War II. So her family was separated and put in an internment camp because of the U.S. government policy towards Japanese Americans. And we talked briefly about this last week when we were looking at another Japanese American artist. One of the tragedies of Ruth's early years was she was completely separated from her father. The American government erroneously, falsely believed that her father was a spy, and he was jailed. He was arrested and jailed and put in prison. And the family was separated from him. Most of the family was put in an internment camp while the father was jailed. And we did not see him for 6 years. One of her sisters had been visiting family in Japan and was unable to return because of policies about no one from Japan could come into the United States because of the war. So her sister was forced to remain in Japan, and they were separated as well. Interestingly enough, different from our artist last week, Ruth Asawa was not angry about any of this treatment. She believed that the suffering that she went through during World War II made her a better person. She believed that going through adversity made her stronger and, in fact, improved her creativity. She learned how to draw when she was in the internment camp. She watched other artists around her and learned from them. So she had a completely positive experience. Maybe because she was young. I don't know. Maybe because she was a very positive person. But it's interesting to me. She learned drawing from illustrators interned in the same camp.
Were they the same age? Two of them when they were in the camp?
No, I think last week's artist was older. I think he was an adult. So in 1943, she was able to leave the camp to attend Milwaukee State Teachers College. She had high hopes to become a teacher, but was unable to complete her coursework because of her Japanese ancestry. She was not allowed to become, she wasn't allowed to be a practicing teacher. They would not allow her into classrooms to, this is during the war, 1943. So she felt this turned out to be good because she was unable to practice teaching and get her teaching degree. She then went to the Black Mountain School of Art in North Carolina, where she began to study art. And that's where her future in art began. And we're going to talk more about that. Let's move on with the pictures. So what you're looking at are exemplars of what she became famous for. These are crocheted wire sculpture. And she learned this technique from people in New Mexico and Mexico. She learned it from craftspeople who did this in basket making, basket weaving. Another interesting fact about Asawa, she wasn't a weaver and she never used fiber. She only used wire, and she used wire because it was easily, readily available to her, whereas woven materials were not. And because she was very poor in art school, she had to use the media that was easy and free for her to get. And here's a quote for her. I hold no hostilities for what happened to me during World War II. I blame no one. Sometimes good comes through adversity. I would not be who I am today had it not been for the internment, and I like who I am. Isn't that, it's incredible. I don't know if I would have had the same attitude. So this is one of her drawings. This is all done with line. And I chose this drawing in particular because when she made her sculpture, even from the very beginning, she became fascinated with inside space as well as outside space. And those of you who've been working with me for many years, you know about this concept of positive and negative space. And this drawing to me really, really shows that whole idea of inner negative space and outer positive space. She deliberately put most of the lines in this drawing in the negative space, the outer surrounding space around the chairs, which is the outer negative space. The inside or positive space of the chairs, she left without line. And that's because she was positive with this interplay of inner and outer space in form. Some of you may see the chairs as the outer space and the lines as inner space. And that's cool. That's good. That's one of the things that she was fascinated with. So once at Black Mountain, there was more equality for her and other minority students. Black Mountain College was really a birthing place for a lot of very famous modern artists, and she met many of them there. While she was on campus, she had freedom, but when she went into the surrounding towns, she did suffer a lot of racism. So she did find out what it was like to be different in the United States. It's in North Carolina. Her wire sculptures brought her fame and prominence in the 1950s when her work appeared frequently, several times in the Whitney Biennial of Art and a 1954 exhibition at the San Francisco Museum of Art, and in 1955, the Sao Paulo Art Biennial in Brazil. In 1962, she began experimenting with tied wire sculptures of branching forms rooted in nature, which became increasingly geometric. Welcome, come on in, and abstract as she continued to work in that form. So usually her pieces hung from the ceiling. If you've ever been to a show of her work, it's almost as if they're floating. They appear to be very light and airy. It's one of the beautiful things about her work. There was a major retrospective of her work in, I believe, 2024. So Ruth, this is a quote from an art critic and a curator at the De Young Museum in San Francisco, Daniel Cornell. And he says Ruth was ahead of her time in understanding how sculptures could function to define and interpret space. And this is interesting to me. This aspect of her work anticipates much of the installation work that we've been talking a lot about recently that has come to dominate contemporary art. I think this one's really wonderful. You can see her attachment to natural forms and shapes. This one to me really looks like an underwater creature. maybe a sea anemone or coral. And I love the openings that she has in this.
It's a crochet.
This is wire, crocheted wire. Yep. Very difficult to do. She must have had incredibly strong fingers. When she was at Black Mountain College, she studied with an incredible artist whom we've talked about, not recently though. She studied with Joseph Albers, and he influenced her study of drawing and the drawings that she did, particularly patterns, her use of patterns and repetition. And he got her interested in the meander. Meander is a type of line that you start and let it just freely flow wherever it wants to go. So in English, the word meander means to just wander. More of her hanging pieces. You can see that there are forms inside of forms too. She also studied with the dancer Merce Cunningham, and she said that work with him was particularly inspiring. In the 1960s, she began receiving commissions for large-scale sculptures in public and commercial spaces in San Francisco and other cities. And after her death, her work has become represented. It is now represented by the David Zwirner Gallery right here in New York City. So this is an example of one of her drawings in color. Again, you can see the plant-like shapes. I'm going to go now a little bit quicker through the slides. Love, love, love this one. These are persimmons. In 2023, I just mentioned at the Whitney Museum of American Art, there was a complete retrospective of her work. This is after her death. It was called Ruth Asawa Through Line. And it was a huge success. And she, throughout her life, she knew that sculpture was what she was most famous for, but she had hoped that people would recognize her also for her drawings. And this final show, posthumous show, was all about her drawings. She itched, this is a quote about that was in the catalog for the show. She itched to push her drawings forward. And this is a quote from her, I believe. Working in wire was an outgrowth of my interest in drawing, she often insisted. So the drawings were most important to her. The wire sculptures were second. Another one of her drawings, a violet. Similar but different from her sculpture. Throughout her life, she had a passionate commitment and was incredibly committed to advocating for art education, particularly for children, and devoted a great deal of her time and effort in her life to promoting that. And in her personal life, I love this. She married the architect Albert Lanier in 1949, whom she met at Black Mountain College. They had 6 children. Can you imagine? She had 6 children and she made all this art. She was an incredibly prolific woman. And she raised 6 children while she did that. I'm not sure where they spent most of their life, but get this, one of the states where he was not Japanese, but they were not allowed to live in California because California was one of 2 states in the United States where it was illegal to have interracial marriages until 1960. In 1960, they moved back to San Francisco. She died August 5th, 2013 at her San Francisco home at the age of 87. The most progressive state in the country right now.
They were the worst of the Asians, worse than the Southerners with the blacks, I think so, from what I've read.
I don't know, but that's pretty amazing to me. Another one of her incredible drawings. She also studied printmaking. This, I feel as if it might be a print. I'm not sure. I love it. She did a lot of repetition and patterning. Patterning was very important to her. Remember, she studied with Joseph Albers, also famous for pattern and the square. Albers was a lifelong lover of the square, squares within squares within squares. One of my favorite drawings of hers, you can see where her sculpture grew from her drawings when you look at this piece. Pretty amazing. An installation of her sculpture. They were quite large. So I don't know if she had assistants. I'm hoping, as she became more famous, she had people helping her make these. I don't know. Someone could look that up. Is Lauren with us today? She loves dinner. Look at this. So remember, I said that as she grew in her practice, she started making these pieces that were much more organic. So this is made from wire. Another one of her drawings or prints. Looks like a sand dollar, right? Almost as if she inked up a sand dollar and printed it on the page. And I think this is the final slide. This is, I don't know, is it an iris or an orchid? It's probably an orchid, I think.
Orchid.
Yeah. Quite lovely, so delicate, really beautiful. Yes, our final slide. So, any comments or thoughts about Ruth Asawa?
I thought one of her pieces looked like a mosaic almost, the one with the chairs.
Yes, I agree. I agree. A lot of detail too, right? All right. So what I'd like to do now, we're going to go through this slide presentation really quickly. It's about the importance of the element of line. Oops. Because I need to show you this in order to do the quick demonstration that we're going to have right after this slide presentation. Who can read this? But okay, that's. Now, we've talked about this in the past, but I think it's worth repeating. Folks at home, can you see this? Yes? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So there are elements in art: line, shape, color, form. Those are the basic elements of art. What is the definition of line? Anybody know? A line is a series of dots that move closer and closer and closer together until they appear as a solid. And there are different types of lines: horizontal, vertical, diagonal, broken, zigzag, wavy, curved, and spiral. And you saw examples of that in all of Ruth Asawa's drawings. I just want you to know that this variety of line can help you to create a richness in both, a visual richness in both your drawings and sculpture today. It doesn't matter which you choose to do, line is going to play a very important role today. So take a moment to just dwell on the gorgeous variety of lines. This doesn't even talk about width. So line can vary in width. It can be wide, it can be narrow. It can be light or it can be dark. You can have very faint lines. You can have very dark, heavy lines. So this doesn't even mention all the amazing different types of lines you can have. All right, moving right along. There's an endless number of lines that you see and use in art all the time. Dotted lines, broken lines, curvy lines, all different kinds of lines. And they're going to be important to us today. Again, look at the incredible variety of lines available to you. Light and dark, thick and thin. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Zigzag, curvy, straight, crooked. So many different kinds of lines. And you saw that exhibited in Asawa's work, both her sculpture and her drawing. And in this picture as well. This is just the explosion of zigzaggy lines. Lines can be used in a variety of ways. Obviously, they can be used to create things. This is a representation, a realistic representation of a person. So lines can be used to make things and objects. You can use them to draw landscapes. You can use them to draw figures or people or animals. You can use them to draw still lifes, fruits, flowers, plants, etc. Or lines can be used to create abstract art. This is an abstract work of art, only made with lines, wide and thin lines. And for our last slide, lines can also be in color. They can be short, they can be long, and they can be colored. They can be scribbles. They can be curvy, they can be jagged. Your options with lines are endless. Any questions? All of this seems obvious, but it is worth repeating. No, Eileen, you think this was helpful?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Sound you said.
Awesome. All right, now if I could just get my mouse down to the stop share button. Let's try using escape. Go ahead. All right, so now we are going to do a short demonstration. I want to share with you two options for today's projects. One will be three-dimensional and sculptural, and the other will be two-dimensional, flat, and drawing.
Hold
So give us a minute to get set up for that. Folks who are here, I don't know if I want you to get your materials yet. I would prefer that you watch first today. So I'm going to show the drawing possibilities because that'll be fastest and easiest. And then I'm going to show the sculpture project. Here we go. I might ask for an assistant, but not yet. I think I can carry everything but it's gone. Yeah. So So we're just gonna wait 1 minute. Laura's getting set up with our camera. Our wonderful librarian. I have to unpin myself, which I always forget to do. How the heck do I do that? Go to view, lizard. It says hide self-view. There's not an option to unpin. Ah, here it is. Oops, remove pin. Thank you. Why is Margot pinned?
Oh, she's on the screen. Sorry, let her know. Better knock yourself out. Well, the camera's on. See on the screen, Liz?
Just the big H.
You can see my name.
Yes. Should I pin that? Okay, we're almost ready. Margot's back. Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It bounced me out.
I don't know. You were for some reason pinned and I had to remove you. Okay, we're good to go. Yeah. So first I'm gonna demonstrate how to do a drawing, but I want to show you a variety of media that you can use. I brought in 3 different kinds of markers. So my favorite drawing tool on the planet is this device. It's called the Uniball pen. I have a few of them here today. It makes a very fine point line, very thin black line. I like it.
Liz, nobody could see this.
Where? Can you see it on the screen?
I just see the light fixture on the wall.
Hold on 1 minute, please. We are
Okay.
trying to make it good for you.
I see it on the screen.
We see it here, so it may be your.
Margot, do you see it, Margot?
Yes,
Maybe
now
you don't see it.
the table.
Yes, she just said yes.
Margot, that was a yes, right?
Yes, Laura, that was a yes.
All right, but Valentina, you don't need anything, just watch, this is your time to watch.
Sure.
Okay, good. So the Uniball makes a lovely thin line, and I like it because it has very little friction on the page. It moves very smoothly on the paper. That's why I love using it. And it's good, yeah, it has a ball in it. It's really good for small, thin lines. The other tool I brought is a Sharpie. It's called a fine point, but compared to the Uniball, it makes a thicker, darker line in contrast. And then I have another Sharpie, which is called ultra fine point. It's a little, oh, it's dried out. So it's a little bit thicker in width, No, that's the Uniball. Thanks, Sally. I just showed that. It's a little bit thicker than the Uniball line. So there are 3 different kind of pens for you to use today. Try them all and see if you like them. I also brought in regular pencil, which is also very good to use for line drawing, as you already know. And I brought in watercolor pencils, because line can also be colored, and it can also be done in paint. All right, my suggestion for abstract work today is to start by creating a frame. I always do that. That's right. Eileen gets A+. Within the frame, do what Ruth Asawa would do. Let your line meander. In other words, create a line that just takes a walk wherever it will go. Let it go from one end of the frame all the way down to the other and beyond. You're watching Star Trek. Then you have 2 halves to your drawing that you can work within. And you can create shapes that you can now control to make more lines. And you can experiment with curvy and zigzag. This is so much fun. You are going to love this. You can do wider. You can do dotted. This is a line, a broken dotted line qualifies. And you can fill your page with as many different lines as you like. You can also do it in color. Everybody understand this one? If you don't want to do abstraction, you can create a landscape if you like. You can open up a picture of a family relative and do a portrait. All of that is done with line. But I think most of your enjoyment will be done with abstract work today in the spirit of Ruth Asawa. So that's the drawing project. Now I'm going to show you how you can do sculpture today. And now I need an assistant. Eileen, you're going to be my assistant because I can't carry everything. Can you stop that for a minute? Yes, yeah. Thank you. Carry this. Carry this. Carry that. I'm sure this is easier for me. This is hard. This is hard. Very hard. No. So I'm fine, but I need you guys to sit back because I'm not done with the demonstration. You want to sit in? Follow me, please. All right, so 3-dimensional sculpture. For those of you who are in the mood, you need, as always, thank you, you need, as always, with sculpture, to have some kind of base. Today, I have brought in cardboard. Can I have a blade or a blade? You need to have a base, and you need to have some tools in order to build. Lisa, you want to be watching then? I'm not done. Oh, yeah, I need that. Thank you. Perfect. Excellent. I think you might want to watch. I'm not doing sculpture. So I brought in cardboard that you can build on. I've also brought in wire. So this is heavier galvanized wire. This is soft, fun wire, it's called twisty wire. This wire will not stand up or support any weight. It's very thin. It's the same wire, you know, when you get in the supermarket your vegetables and they have those twisty ties, that's what this wire is. If you want to use the heavier weight wire, you can easily cut it with this tool. It's called the wire cutter. Folks at home, I hope you can see it.
The needle nose wire cutter.
Well, you guys can use twisty wire if you have it at home. And you might want to watch, you can go to the hardware store if you like this project. You might want to go to the hardware store after class and try it. So this kind of wire will stand up. I also have a tool called an awl. An awl is a tool used for punching holes. Please be careful with this. It is sharp. So you can punch holes in the cardboard. And you can thread your wire through the holes. Now, if you just do this, it's going to be temporary, and it's not going to hold in place. So you need to do something on the reverse side to make it more permanent. You can bend and fold the wire, and then you can put glue if you like. And I've run in Elmer's glue and also Mod Podge. And there are cups for you to pour the glue in. And you can put glue here. I also run in tape. You can actually tape the wire down. And I have needle and thread. You can actually stitch the wire to the cardboard. You can use the awl again to make holes for you to thread the needle through. And then you can build and build and build with the wire. And you can even attach the thinner wire. This kind of wire now becomes appropriate. You can join it on by twisting it. See? You can do all kinds of fun things. This kind of wire you can also cut with scissors. All right, does everybody get the idea? You can have lots of fun. I don't want to spend any more of your time. I just wanted to show you how to use the different kinds of materials. This I'm going to hold on to for everyone because it is a little dangerous. This is called a utility knife or a blade. It's good for cutting the cardboard. And that's basically how you do it. You need to retract the blade when you're not using it and give it back to me. Okay? Any questions? I brought in sticks for applying the glue, or the glue in here. And then you can use. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to the videotape.
Liz, do you want to put an image up or do you want to say?
I will put an image over the Sal's workup if people have no ideas for what to do. Some people have already started. Some. Those of you who are here, now you can go get your materials and begin. You good to go? Okay, bro. Any questions? Let me know. Somebody take my cardboard with the holes in it. Twisty wire you can get at the art supply company in Big Lick. You fall in love with it today and you want to use it again. And it's spelled just the way it sounds, but instead of Y at the end, it's 2 E's. Twisty. You ever use twisty wire with kids? It's pretty bad. Oh, and please use this judiciously. It's a full jar yesterday, guys. It's almost gone. I went to town with the Mod Podge food yesterday. A little bit of Mod Podge goes along with it. Did you, the 2023 show the Whitney?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. They didn't have a lot of the sculpture.
It was more her drawing. That's what she wanted. I think
Yeah.
she might have even put that in her will. By John Wilson Goose. By fire. Oh, that's good. I'm getting better about the cancer. Didn't get it off. You know, if you need help. Go. Perfect. Dry out. If you run across a Sharpie that's all dried out, just throw it away. Please. And I want all the Uniball pins back.
I couldn't find any. Where are they?
There's one.
I have one.
Come and get it. They're very precious to me. As I said, it was my favorite drawing. That's why that's what I want. Needle and thread. Yes, ma'am. I'm on my way. Put a picture up of Rufus Hour's work. I'm going to put a drawing up. My folder. Here we go. Yes. This is an abstraction of flowers. And it's in color. It's not black and white. It's a little blurry. Would you like me to change this or is this good? It's a little blurry. I think I'm going to change it. Sorry about that. I never know till I put it on the large screen. You know what? Let's go to the slideshow. We'll use that wonderful, this drawing. We'll put this one up. Oh, wait, I have to share the screen. Screen, this one. Someone may have it. Does someone have the wire cutter at their seat? You've got it? So this drawing too, I think she probably took from nature. I'm not sure what she was looking at, but I think it's pretty representative of the kinds of drawings that she did. Everybody at home able to see it? Yes, from Robin. Thank you, Robin. So we have almost an hour. Laura, do you want me to mention about the link and sending the link?
Do it via email so you and I can see.
Okay, yeah, not on the recording either, so.
Let's see the first, what works best for you.
Good morning, Mom.
I know folks at home, you may not have wire and wire cutters and all that, so you do have the option to do the drawing. If you have yarn, you could do a drawing with yarn. So you could do a collage with non-traditional material. Even though Asawa herself never used yarn, you could use yarn, you could use thread. There's so many things around our home that are actually lines that we never really consider to be lines. You may even have cable laying around your house that you want to get rid of. Yeah, you could use it. You could glue it to cardboard and create art out of it.
Feel your, with your.
Why not?
Hoarding.
You what?
It's a good way to deal with your hoarding. Make art out of it.
My first husband was a computer guy. Greg had so much stuff, computer chips and cable and all that stuff. Should have kept it. Being here than accomplishing. I'm thrilled. Thank you for coming. A lot of people didn't make it, so thank you. Yesterday's last. That's. This is stroke with him. He came to class yesterday. He had been an artist, a professional advertising, graphic illustrator. He came to class, recovering from stroke. He had not put pencil to paper since his stroke. When was he so moved?
Those people, I used to live in Marine.
Oh, you know him?
I know. No, I didn't know that he was a smoke.
Yeah.
I'm not. But he looked, and he was so beautiful.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He looked sick. I thought he had cancer.
He's so jobless and jogging.
He looks great. He looks good. Joe Price.
I look, oh, we had to do like a trip.
That's
I
it.
couldn't believe it.
82. He was
So is he eating it?
I know, he's eating, yes. He's
Normal eating?
normal. Yeah, yeah. He was doing it behind his doctor's legs, but behind now. No, at the beginning, and then they decided that he.
Because he liked the attention he was getting. And he was,
No, no.
or they didn't,
Not,
he wasn't supposed to be.
He wasn't supposed to. It was, he won, he go to his life. No, he's walking.
He was jogging right by the library. I'm like,
Goes to the
what?
gym. Right. He's back from the dead. He was dead.
Lucky man. Such a great man. I know who he is. I've met him once, maybe twice at most.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
He's
that's
so
good.
good.
How was he doing?
It's not so bad.
Then,
Even. He can speak, but he can't. The word.
frustrating, it's frustrating. Is he having therapy?
Yeah, he goes to Pilates and.
But is he having therapy for the aphasia in his brain? He can. He's getting a little tough.
No, I think I might need some more contact.
So yeah, should have read tissue paper. And which one? That. I'm gonna be in 2 shows soon. Wish I could remember the dates. I'm gonna be in a show at Mana Contemporary in the basement. One of my big drawings. On May 19th, I will not be there though. I'm gonna be in the Art and Music Festival here in Hoboken on Washington Street. In a booth with my husband, Ebu. May 19th, Sunday, is the Art and Music Festival here in Hoboken.
Washington Street, which street?
I'm sorry,
Which street? No.
Washington Street, the
Washington.
main street here in Hoboken. Yep, it starts at City Hall and I think now it goes all the way to 10th Street.
Oh.
You can't miss it. So it's Sunday, May 19th.
Mhm.
It starts at 11 a.m. and it goes till 6 p.m. There's music, there's art, there's
Oh,
food. It's great fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Everybody likes it, yes. And then I'm gonna be in a show at Cathedral Arts, which is a big church. I believe it's on Erie and maybe 2nd Street in Jersey City. two of my paintings and one of my drawings. But I forget the dates. Soon, that one's soon. I have to deliver the work on Friday for that. This is great, but I want you to fill in these spaces. Remember how Ruth Sawa filled in all the negative space? More lines in here, 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 here. More lines. More lines. It is beautiful. It needs more. This is also fantastic, Lisa. This is also beautiful. Go. Another sculptor. Making flowers. Now, it would be fun too if you colored, painted a piece of paper and then laid. Right, exactly. And look at this. This is terrific. It's terrific. And you can start by looking at her work, but then make it your own. Change it. You don't have to copy it exactly. Change it as you go. Folks at home, are you good? Everyone's inspired, I hope. I really do encourage you to learn more about Ruth Sawa. I find her very, very interesting. Next week will be our double class. Of course, I'm not remembering who the artist is, but I will be sending everyone emails about it later in the week. Public address announcement this Saturday in Hoboken. There will be free paper shredding. If you go to the Department of Public Works in Hoboken, you can have all your important documents shredded for free. I'm so excited. I have an enormous crate full of papers, full of stuff to be shredded. I think that starts at 9 a.m. and goes till 2 p.m. I do want to share today, so we're going to work until 11:45. Just letting you know. Folks at home, you could even use rubber bands. That just struck me. They're linear. You could cut them up, glue them down. They come in all different colors too. I have a huge collection of rubber bands. You could cut strips of paper. Or you could create linear drawings, as I suggested. That can be very relaxing and wonderful. And if you start with a sculpture project and you finish it, you can move on to the drawing and vice versa. You can do two for the price of one. One of my mother's favorite expressions. Researching. I'm just searching early lines. Early lines are called. Oh. And you already used. Yeah. I'm trying to use everything. This way. Organic. You know, these are watercolor pencils. Well, I use water, you don't have to, you can use them dry, or you can use them with paint, but that's up to you.
I will freedom.
This is a lot freer than when we're trying to do realistic, right? I like this, yeah, do all around it too. Excellent. Might want to do more of these kind of wider lines, wider, darker. You have a lot of thin. Now try doing these heavier, darker lines for contrast. Good. Susie's already starting drawing number 2.
Wow, Susan. Good. Where's the closest garbage can?
I'm not making fun of you.
This is
Proud of you.
the easiest thing I can do.
Well, enjoy. Lisa is natural born sculptor in the house today. It's pretty impressive. It's awesome.
Put that in a museum. Slide picture. Well, look at the views.
You are the new Ruth Nassau of Hoboken, New Jersey. Blue down here. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Yeah, go get some blue. And then tomorrow we'll be happy to source you. It looks like sand or dirt at the bottom of your tree. I like that. Forget where you are when you do this kind of drawing. It's really deeply absorbing.
You know, it's interesting. is
Beautiful.
That, the gallery that she's at,
David Warner.
is also, Yagu's, gallery.
Well, you know, they're probably the leading gallery in New York.
No, but I mean for that repetitious,
Yes.
very zen sort of get into it.
They're similar, yes.
I mean, they're different, but there's a certain similar aesthetic.
Yes, I agree. But they also represent people like Karen James Marshall.
Yeah, I know that.
So they're really the top gallery in New York. But I agree, there's similarity between Salon and Kusama. Patterning.
Yeah,
partition,
pattern, yeah.
that's not Kusama.
Once it's been
Done
done,
her a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the addition of that, Heather, very much.
It's getting-
That one needs to be on a block of wood, you can
Yeah.
nail that thing. What's your love? Thin, very thin upholstery nails. Alex is coming up with an interesting twist. Can't wait to see what you do. This is wonderful. Now, notice that some of her lines are thick and heavy, so you can vary the width of your line. See how this is thicker? So think about doing that too. So this is beautiful, beautiful drawing. Folks at home, you copacetic? Everybody's cool? No problems? Margot, you good? Good. You're all in a meditative state? Stephanie, good. You didn't have to rush off today. I'm thrilled. Awesome.
I'm not getting up from boss. This is. I'm making, I'm creating. This.
Ooh. It's that kind of day though, where curl up with a good book. I'm reading this dystopian novel now, which I should have my head examined for reading it right now. Right? Robin's laughing. It's not a good time in history to be reading a dystopian novel. I have to look it up, but it's on my Kindle. Let's see if I can find. Um, I don't know. I have it on my big Kindle at home. It's not open on my phone. It's on my iPad at home. I don't know. Maybe I can put it in my next email out. It's well written and absorbing, but it's disturbing. I don't know. I have so many books on my Kindle. This might be it. Sorry, Alice, I can't find it. It's it's so depressing. You don't want to read it. If I think of it, I'll put it in my next email. It depends on who's on, because you don't want to what period of history.
I just find that when I was reading it. There's Italian.
I get it. You have to let me know which are. I like how you're doing external and internal space.
I don't know,
It's cool.
he's so, with the flow, I don't know. I don't like this image in my terror.
Careful with that, please. Don't do it like that. But this is a cutting board. Not up in the air, you need coming up. So now you don't. You need help. It's not the best. Oh, very good. Or even just the need. I like it. I want more heavy dark. Like this, yes, over here. Make some of these wider. Oh, heavier. Are you escaping, Susie? Makes it this. Yeah, I need more contrast. So fill some of these in, color them in with the black, and then make this line thicker, wider, heavier. We need contrast as well. Yeah, so you want contrast. You want some of your lines to be thick and some thick. Right, so make some of this thick like this. Just a little glue at a time, otherwise the glue will just dry up. All right? That glue dries very fast, but it's looking good. There are brushes too. You want brushes tomorrow? No? Just letting you know. Yes. But I still want contrast. Wait, I'll show you. Contrast is the key. Maybe I didn't make this clear before. Contrast, so makes some of them dark, heavy, yes, and some thin. All right, it'll make your drawing even more exciting and beautiful. And some of these shapes too, you can fill in. Fill the whole thing in. Just a few, not all of them. Just for contrast, for difference and variety. All right, good. Yes, so like you want some variety. Some of the shapes too, you can even fill in. Like some of these. Good. Very nice. Go on, Susie, more. You can fill in more. Like put in solid. Loving it. Keep going. Use the whole space inside the frame. Sally, have fun. Have fun. Keep going. Yes, that's the idea. Now you got. I don't need. Yeah, I love. Super.
I brought my own super tacky because I didn't know.
Right, especially for you.
Well, I never know if I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, it's like. So many different kinds of lines. Maybe some over here. I can figure out what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing great. Are we having fun at home? Got some smiles. So we have about 10, 11 minutes till sharing.
You added the little thing there. Yeah.
At that, I got hooked into my phone. Everyone at home, you look absorbed. So Art and Music Festival coming up in 2 weeks. I'm in a show at Cathedral Arts. Let me look it up. And also at Mana Contemporary.
Is only doing a presentation on public art? Is that open to the public?
Yes, I don't know when that's gonna be. That was postponed. There was some talk it would be at the next council meeting, but as far as I know, it's not definite yet. But thanks, Laura. Oh, so the Cathedral Arts Festival is Saturday, May 18th, 7 p.m. is the opening. Oh, you have to have tickets for that. Is that the opening or is that the? It's the Grace Church Van Vorst. "35 years of art and culture at the Cathedral Arts Festival. It's going to be epic, according to this. It's a really, really nice, big, giant church. The festival stopped because of COVID. This is the first festival since COVID. From 6 to 9 p.m. Gosh, I hope I make it. It's the night before the Art and Music Festival. I may not make it myself because we'll be busy packing the car with art for the Art and Music Festival.
Are they gonna stream it live?
I don't know. I know the show is up for a while. Let me see if I can find the date. Oh, it keeps sending me to TripAdvisor to book airplane tickets. I'll tell you what, I will send details in the next email I send out. But the opening does appear to be May 18th. I know it's open to the public for almost a month. I think it's up for 3 weeks. And it's mainly Jersey City and Hoboken artists, which is pretty cool. There are a lot of artists in Hudson County, and we've been around for a while. 5 more minutes, and then we'll stop to share and then clean up. Hope that you've been finding some success in your creative work this morning, everybody. Even on the slow, sleepy, rainy, humid, and warm Wednesday in May. Already 80 something degrees it's supposed to be today. 87 it's supposed to be today.
You like it?
I do like it. I'm one of the few people on the planet who's happy when it's very hot.
And you are in an air conditioned house?
I do not have an air conditioned house.
You don't?
I have air conditioning in the bedroom. That's about it.
Ceiling fans?
I have ceiling fans.
Wow. They're good, except for
They do get used. I have a portable standing air conditioner that I keep in the living. Pretty desperate for turning on. A few times last. As always, I'm just thrilled. Same directions to everybody, but every single person did something completely different. Exciting and a privilege for me as your teacher to get to crawl up inside your brain for a few minutes.
no really mind. You don't get it.
So cool. Don't give up on this idea. I want to keep going with this and continue to fill up the shapes. All right? Okay. Well, use this now though to fill up. You're gonna have to fill up all this with this to make the whole thing work. Again, Susie, this is great, but I need the contrast. All right? All these lines are the same. I want you to do some of them darker and thicker, okay? Maybe fill some of these triangles in. Color them in with black. Not all of them, but some of them. I was thinking maybe it should be on the cardboard base. It's up to you. I want you to just finishing touch, make the picture frame heavy and dark. A bit, maybe even this wide, like this one, all the way around. Okay. Oh, it is time to stop to share. It's magnificent. I like this very much. And I like now that you're doing some of them dark and wide. That's really gonna work. Do more of that. All right, sharing. For those of you who are caring. We're gonna do in-house sharing first today because we did at-home people first last time. Who wants to go first? Anybody want to share? But now you can't do that, Eileen. It's now or never. Alice, do you want to share yours? Okay, cool. So we have to stop this share. Bit of this. Make this bigger. So here comes Alice. She's going to share her creation.
It's a hanging art.
A la Estella.
Oh,
Very
Wow.
cool.
Very
Excellent.
creative.
Wow. Wow.
What'd you use in the middle? Paper?
yeah, that's just paper.
Paper and twisty wire.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Anyone else for sharing? Come on. Lisa, do you want to share your sculpture? Bring it up. Wait till you see this, everyone. Little bit higher.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Oh,
Very-
wow. Fabulous.
Wow, look at that, all the colors.
Bottom. Bottom.
Thank you. I didn't do that. The next will be the very next.
So Lisa completely blew me away. She started by taping the wire
Colors?
to the cardboard and then built up. And she added, I forgot to show in the demonstration, I brought in the net bags that you get onions and
Oh, yeah.
ginger in and potatoes. And she used that. That was the colored portion of her sculpture, and it looks terrific. Anyone else? We have so many different versions of this project. Here comes Eileen. Eileen has a drawing. Be careful of the wires. On this side is particularly hazardous. Love this one, up higher.
Ah,
Isn't that great?
That's great.
Talk
That's
about
great.
variety of lines.
Is that how you think today?
Bravo. I particularly like, this is the hair, right? Yes. I love the dark. It's a line. It's just a big, wide, dark line. All right, Esty, come on, show this piece you're working on. I like it so much. I actually like the one you just turned over too. Oh, Radantika's gonna beat you to it. You can come after her. Funny. Right.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Nice. It's like, paper,
Fabulous.
Turn that-
Fabulous.
isn't it? This feels particularly Indian to me.
Yeah, that could be a-
Beautiful.
Not a
Yeah.
surprise. And it could go this way as well.
That looks like a fish.
It does look a little like a fish.
Very nice.
It's beautiful.
Well done. All right, Esty's next.
Mine is hanging.
It.
Okay, what do I do?
You have to hold it up.
Oh,
Oh, that's
wow.
beautiful.
Goes this way, forgive me.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Looks like bubbles.
Very
And then
cool.
you have to see the sculpture that Esty made. Oops, we're losing
I'm
another
losing
piece.
it.
Hold it up.
Ah,
Ah,
is that
love
right?
it.
Oh, you
Very-
made a necklace?
Yeah, I made a
Oh, oh, I love it.
Oh, it's very good.
earrings too.
An earring.
Good
It's a
night.
statement necklace.
I'm losing it. Oh, wow.
Another piece of artwork.
Never.
Okay. All right, Heather,
You can.
it's too wet. Okay, too bad. Sally, you want to show yours? You have to bring it up here. Okay. Sally's gonna go first.
I like circle. My picture, no circle.
No circle?
Oh, circle.
Doesn't have to be a circle.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Colorful.
Yes, so Sally opted to do her lines completely in color. I think it's very
Beautiful.
nice. Well done.
Very soothing.
And
Circle.
Heather's has a lot of glue, but it's so
And I don't
cool.
like pens.
Need a blow dryer to dry the glue. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
wow.
And
Great.
it's hard to see, but she's got some very thin, like abalone shell
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow.
to it as well. It's very beautiful. Tamara, you want to share? Yes.
Tomorrow, today.
Susie? No? Your friend, do you want to share your drawing? No. Okay. I'm not going to force anyone. All right. Who at home? Robin, do you want to share? And folks here, we're not going to talk now, okay? Because folks at home are sharing. Let's listen up. Margot, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go.
All right. I have to try and pin you. Hold on.
I don't know if you can see because of the light. There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful,
what's
Margot.
Sorry, wait a minute, Margot. I have to unspotlight me.
Oh, beautiful.
Love
Oh,
it.
very
Great.
nice. Very nice. You might even want to fill in some of the petal shapes as well with solid color.
Okay, yeah, that
I
sounds
like
good.
how you're almost going right to the edge. You could even think about that, making some of the shapes go right off the edge of the paper as well would be very interesting.
Mhm. I have to
Thank
cut-
you, Robin, Margot. And Robin, you're going to be
Great.
next. Thanks. Robin, you want to share?
Oh, she's muted.
You're muted, Robin.
I think she knows that she's
I
struggling.
can't. Can I?
There
Can
you
you
go.
hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you now. Just hold your
Okay.
picture up.
I'm going to join the meeting again and see if I can.
No, you're
See you.
fine.
You're fine.
Just
Well,
hold
I-
your picture up,
I can't see you. So,
but we can see you.
okay, I wanted to do,
Wow.
Oh, it's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
because she did persimmons and I love them. So
Mm, beautiful.
today.
Beautiful.
Really well done.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Very,
I'm
very
seeing
nice.
everybody's work. It's wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. You're getting the thumbs up. You're getting oohs and
Oh,
ahs.
thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
Job.
I'm going
Beautiful.
to try to unmute if I can. Let's
No, you
see.
are.
Joining a meeting.
All right. We're going to,
Got you.
Susan, if you would like, you're next. Thank you, everyone, for sharing today. All
It's
right,
not-
Susan, you use your lines to create a
Nice,
still life.
Susan. Nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I was thinking of outlining it in black line. I don't know yet if I should do that or not.
It might be too intense. Um,
Okay.
You could do it in colors.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to do. This is watercolor paper, but I was using watercolor pencil.
What I would suggest, I would do a light wash let that dry, and then do outlining with perhaps a darker color.
Good idea. Okay, cool.
Very nice.
All right, thanks.
And Stephanie,
I wasn't really following because I was busy working on something, but I'll show you what it was.
okay, I'm trying to spotlight you, but I'm for some reason not getting the option to do that. Oh, good. Thank you,
Oh,
Laura. Wow, definite use of line. Very nice. Bravo.
Thank you.
Well done.
That's gorgeous.
Great
Thank
use
you.
of shading.
Fabulous.
So is this a photograph you were working from, a picture from a
It
magazine?
was this.
Oh, it's a drawing. Okay,
Yeah.
very
Mm.
cool.
So this is my version.
Who is the
Beautiful.
artist? Do you know?
No, I really don't. Mm-mm. You know, I've been suffering from pneumonia now for like 6 weeks, and
Yikes.
Oh,
boy,
is right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it doesn't show in your work. That's
Well,
the
that's
good.
what keeps me alive for
Mm.
now.
Great work, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better.
Thank
Feel
you.
better soon, please.
Thank you.
Kudos to you for continuing to do your art. I'm glad it's
Oh,
given you some relief.
thank you. I really love it. That's what keeps me going right now.
Bravo.
Thanks.
Art is just wonderful therapy, everybody. E, do you want to go on camera and show us your work? Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing, and everyone
Oh,
else.
you're welcome.
Oh, E has disappeared. Oh, I don't know what happened to E.
He turned into F.
Oh, okay. Nothing today. Okay, E. Understandable.
go ahead.
It's been a while since we've seen you, E. Welcome back. I hope you can make it next week, and everyone else as well. They all said no. She said no. I've asked everyone. Susie, I didn't ask you. Do you want to share, Susie? Sally, she said no.
Sharing. Sally sharing with her
No,
hands.
I never force anybody to share. All right, everyone. Wonderful job today. I was thrilled to see the variety, the incredibly good creativity. And I look forward to working with you next week. And I will put details about the Art and Music Festival, upcoming shows. All of that will go in the next email that I send out. And thank you for your support for this class and all of our artwork. We are terrific. Please give yourselves a pat on the back and see you soon.